Well. Good morning. For anyone who thinks that the notification was an April Fool's joke or something like that, unfortunately, it is not.
It is not.
So,
hey, for the first time, we didn't clickbait. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we did, but it's real.
yeah, so it's true. That happened. Also, to everyone who's helping us get through Hype Train, I guess we're in level 5 right now. Today will not be a day of shots.
No.
Today
We've
will
had
definitely
plenty,
not.
and it didn't work.
Yeah. So, explain, I guess you can go first, Carla Marie.
I will. And your mic is like kind of clicking a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm seeing it hitting in the red. So I don't know
Okay.
if you want to lower it a little bit.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. So Anthony and I have both tested positive for COVID. He is in Florida and I am in Seattle. So I'll give you quick story. Anthony, you can interject whenever you want. To preface this, I was vaccinated in May and I got my booster shot last month. Anthony was also vaccinated in May and did not have a booster shot. So we did have a wedding in Florida this weekend. However, I went and got tested on Tuesday because it's free to get tested here. And I was like, we're traveling. Let me go get tested. Negative. However, 3 days prior, we were at a bar here in Seattle for a friend's birthday and like no one was wearing masks at that bar. So, and that was part of the reason why I was like, let me get tested. So it could have been undetected. All day Wednesday, ran errands, got on a flight Thursday. We had the rehearsal dinner Friday. I'd say Friday, Saturday, I started losing my voice. And I was like, of course I'm losing my voice. I've been screaming like an idiot. Not around friends anymore. I mean, that happens to both of us all the time. And you guys know this. So, but I felt fine. Like, we had the most fun. Like, we danced, like, literally the whole night, the wedding. We were up till, like, 2 a.m., all the energy in the world. I woke up Sunday morning, and I was like, oh, man, my voice is even worse today. But I got on my flight, and I was fine. I had a layover at, by the way, did you know the airport is called Dulles, not Dulles, in Washington?
Yeah.
I was like, why are they saying Dallas? I get to Dulles, I eat, I have plenty of time there, and I'm boarding that flight, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to sit down and sleep. And halfway through that 6.5-hour flight, I was like, I don't feel well. And I started coughing, and I'm like, I can't cough on a plane. And I had no Wi-Fi. I land, and I text Anthony, and I'm like, I am legitimately sick. And I ordered on GoPuff. Anthony was like, order all the medicines. I ordered everything. It was at the house by the time I got here. I'm like, I don't know, I'm getting congested. I woke up yesterday morning. I was like, I can't talk. We can't do the show. I can't talk. And I ran to Walgreens, which I had no other option. I literally put on my glasses so I couldn't get any germs out. I touched nothing but what I bought, got a rapid test, came home. I'm telling you, within the first minute, both pink lines showed up. And I was like, I don't know what's worse, this or a pregnancy test. So Anthony immediately got tested. He was positive. So we were both like, fuck. So here we are.
Yeah, I was walking around. So I walked to about 2 miles away from where I'm staying. There's a CVS and a Walgreens. So I walked to the first one. They were all out. Walked to the second one. As I was walking to, I think it was Walgreens, there was like an urgent care. I was like, you know what? Let me just go into this place. Terrible idea. It was the shadiest place I have ever been. None of the staff were wearing masks. There was a customer that was like screaming at one of the employees. I feel like I could have gotten a better test at like a vet clinic, but I got that test back. That was positive. And then I took one of the at-home tests as well. That was also positive. And it was upsetting, obviously, because we have done, gone through all the protocols, all those things. And like Carla Marie said, I mean, even though some of the symptoms hit us like late last week, when you're at a wedding and you're drinking and you're yelling and you're dancing, like those are normal things. Like you lose your voice, you are tired.
Never. Like if anyone would have said you have a sore throat, do you think you have COVID? I would have been like, no. Like, and for the record, we are both the first people to be like, oh God, I sneezed. I got to go get COVID. Like it was just so, it was everything else but COVID in my head. And I was never like, it can't be COVID. It never even crossed my mind. Yeah. I was drinking. I was screaming. The weather changed. We were sleeping in the air condition. I was like, yeah, this happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we get sore throats all the time. So it was never, and it's funny when I was telling the doctor yesterday, when I did urgent care, Zoom care, she was like, sore throat was never really a symptom, but now we're seeing it as the first symptom in like this latest. She didn't necessarily say it was the Omicron, just in the latest set of everyone getting sick. It goes sore throat for 2 days. It's gone. I don't have a sore throat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It may come back, but she's like, that's the first thing. And I'm like, what in the actual?
So Mega Damien Nut just asked if we told everyone at the wedding. So there's a couple group chats I'm in from people from, groups of people at the wedding. Told all of them, as of right now, one person got an inconclusive test. So they're going to go, they did an at home and it didn't give them the right, it didn't give them a negative or a positive. So they're going to go to an actual testing site.
A lot of people tested negative though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Everyone else
negative. Yeah. So it is so freaking crazy. And you know what's nuts is a lot of the people that we were with actually already had COVID and their vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So you hope that they were actually more protected than the two of us, or even me with the booster shot at that point.
And on top of that, with the vaccine and with the booster, you're less likely to transmit it to someone else. So because both of us were vaccinated, even with the virus, you're less likely to pass it on. But yeah, so far, what was that?
It's MN. Is it Minnesota or Minneapolis?
Minnesota.
She said, when I got sick, I immediately knew it was COVID. I never get sick, but I got hit hard within hours. And that's what happened to me. I was just like, every minute that passed by, I was on the airplane. I was like, I started getting panicky. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I'm so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And getting home and being home is so much better. There was something else I was going to say about,
go for it, Carla Marie.
It is wild to me that we are, I guess, if you count everyone in China getting sick, right? We're 2 years, 2 hours, please no, 2 years into this.
Mm-hmm.
I said to my sister yesterday, I was like, you know what drives me nuts is I was fucking washing my groceries last March. If I would have just got it then, I may have been fine now. We're literally 2 years in and I'm getting it for the first time.
Well, and in reality, I mean, most people, I should say, are probably a little more lax than they were when this first hit. So between, weddings, between traveling, all of that stuff, we're probably exposing ourselves a little more than we should. But at the same time, we also took all the right protocols.
Right. And it's not like we're traveling last March when it was crazy. We're doing things that are considered acceptable now.
Mm-hmm.
We both did change our flights. I was supposed to fly home to New Jersey Friday. I canceled that. I am now flying later next week. So I will be home for Christmas. I talked to the airline. I told them I had COVID. They were like, as long as it's 10 days past your first symptom, you are fine. Doctor said the same thing. So I will be home for Christmas. So I'm happy about that. Anthony, there's a lot of questions are you stuck in Florida?
For now I am, which, I mean, not the worst place to be stuck. I'd much rather be stuck here than in Seattle. But I have an uncle who... What?
Are you kidding me? I'm so glad it sucked as much as and now I got, by the way, my PCR test came back positive. So now I wait for the contact tracers, I guess, to be able, because I can't tell United. There's no way to tell the airline unless you have proof of a PCR test.
Oh, okay.
It's bizarre. I'm like, I need to fucking tell this plane of people. But I being here, being with the cats, even though I'm trying to keep them away from me because they can also get it.
Yeah.
It's way better. Sorry.
But no, I have an uncle who has a house out here. So he's not at the house. He's actually up at his place, his regular residence in Canada. So I'm just going to chill there for a couple days, kind of wait this out. I actually don't feel terrible at all. I should have known late last week because if you remember, I hurt my back about a month and a half ago in the gym. And all of a sudden, late last week, it was hurting a lot, even though I wasn't really doing much. And I think those were the body aches that are oftentimes a symptom. So that's been really the only thing. A little bit of a headache. I'm kind of groggy, but the sinus infection that I had about a year ago, way worse, 10 times worse than what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
So thankfully,
my worst,
I'm doing okay.
My worst sinus infection is worse than this.
Yeah.
Everyone's asking why you didn't fly back with me. So.
So I was originally gonna fly from Florida to New Jersey today. Obviously, that's not happening, but I just didn't feel like going all the way back to Seattle just to fly to Jersey a couple days later. So
Yeah, this was always our plan.
yeah.
Well, not this, but by the way, we hit hype train level 5 at like 130%.
Well, thank you very much. Today is not a shot day, but we definitely appreciate it. We don't know how many more shows we'll have for the rest of the year. We were supposed to be done on Thursday, but we'll see how we feel. We'll see, the setup and all of that. I'm sure that my uncle has internet, so I can probably do it there. Mm-hmm. Double shots next time. You know what? When we're feeling better, we'll do triple shots.
We're just going to get wasted. I did triple shots, and here I am.
Yeah, that's true. No, I don't even have anything to take a shot of right now.
Maybe I'd feel better.
What if you took some shots?
Wow, over 400 people are in here. That's what happens when you...
Well, hello. Hopefully all 400 of you show up a different day. If you've got any questions, I know a lot of people in the chat have unfortunately had COVID before. If you haven't and you have some questions about it, you can feel free to ask that. But, we're pretty fortunate at the moment.
Don't be scared. Honestly, there's a chance that we did not get this flying. There's a chance that we did get this flying. I will say that airplanes are very, they see your mask dropping below your nose. They're like, what are you doing? Like, they woke the guy up who was sitting next to you.
I just realized that piece of shit that was sitting next to me.
He was coughing.
And his mask was off half the time. That's where it's from. It's got to be. This guy.
I have my.
This guy his mask was below his mouth, I would say, at least a dozen times on the flight. And he was right next to me, coughing up a lung. That would make a lot of sense. It's the only place where I was fully uncomfortable was that moment.
Well, I will say the bar last weekend was packed. And again,
True.
If I didn't get tested last Tuesday and get a negative test, I would 100% be saying it was there. A lot of people keep asking where we think we got it. We've narrowed it down to about 15 different spots.
Yeah.
So, and we don't know which one of us got it first at this point. the symptoms I'd say hit me faster, but which doesn't make sense considering I got the booster shot.
Yeah, but I also some of the symptoms I probably didn't even pay attention to because I get congested so often that I probably just ignored it.
Yeah.
Late
when
last
we landed on Thursday, you were like, oh, I'm congested, after a flight. That happens to me all the time. It sucks right now. So my biggest takeaway from this is if you are getting together with family for the holidays, get a rapid. Go right now to CVS, go wherever, Walgreens, get a rapid test and take them the morning of. Because you don't want to be, after spending the last 2 years doing everything you can to protect your family to now fucking it all up.
Yeah. Someone just joined.
Test,
sorry.
Test. Go ahead.
Someone just joined the chat asking if we're in separate rooms. Not only are we in separate rooms, we are in separate states. We are almost as far as you can be at the moment. Carla Marie is in Seattle. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale. It was funny. Once I got the positive test, I was like, you know what? At least I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I can walk around outside. But I'm currently still in a hotel. So I didn't want to go anywhere until I had to. So I've literally been in this room for over 24 hours straight.
We're supposed to literally isolate to the point where you do not leave your home.
Yeah.
Which, I can go on my roof, which is fine. I could probably.
You could go walk outside. You're fine.
I would wear a mask.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I'm okay with laying in bed.
Oh, I definitely. I ordered Chipotle to the room yesterday, and I watched this week's episode of Yellowstone and did not get out of bed fully. I went to go pee. That was about it. But I did not get out of bed for probably 12 straight hours. And I don't know if I was getting a headache because I hadn't moved for so long or if it was the COVID. So, I do want to show everyone one thing though. I still have one of the tests that we bought. Give me 1 second.
He's still in the hotel room, our big horse. He's not his uncle's yet. He did fix the bed.
So, Binax now.
Yeah, that's what I
Everyone
did.
that I've been in touch with has been asking what test to take. This is what I took, and it was super simple.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of steps, but it's simple.
Well, there's a lot of steps to make sure that you don't contaminate anything.
It's $25 for one of those, and there are 2 in a box,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is fair.
So I now have 5 of these that I can keep taking tests for the next week.
Jesus.
Well, no, I have I
Well,
have
you
5
can
individual tests. I don't have 5 boxes.
You can test positive for up to 30 days.
Well, that stinks.
But
I also
10
might
days
drive up. I might just rent a car and drive from Fort Lauderdale to New Jersey, like in the middle of next week.
well, at that point, you can just fly.
We'll see. It is very much like a pregnancy test. I was waiting for that. Is the pregnancy test 2 lines and you're pregnant?
2 lines, or if you use the digital one, it says yes or no, which at this point in my life, I said I splurged for the digital one because
Oh,
I
wow.
ain't messing around. Back in college, I used to get the cheap one.
But the other thing I wanted to talk about today, you might notice my t-shirt here. I don't know if you can see this, Carla Marie. Do you see what I'm wearing?
I'm at that point of COVID where your vision gets lost.
Oh, are you blind now? Well, this might help on the screen. A good old graphic that tells...
I can't see it.
Well, it
honestly.
says, this is what Seton Hall basketball posted after the win. If you missed it, Seton Hall basketball beat Rutgers basketball 77-63 on Sunday night. And we would have talked about this yesterday, obviously, had we done the show. But good old Seton Hall Pirates owning New Jersey yet again.
So I didn't have Wi-Fi, and it was on during my flight. And I was able to watch it because United still has the...
Oh, they have live
camera-
TV?
what's it called? Live TV. So I watched it on Fox Sports 1, even though Anthony told me it was on Fox Sports 2.
No, that's not true at all. I told you it was on Fox Sports 1. And
Well,
you
I
said they
found
only
it.
had, you said that the TV only had Fox Sports 2, and I said that's really weird.
I don't know. I think something changed when we got in the air. possibly.
Okay.
So there were 2 guys next to me. They were watching, and I was laughing because they were watching on their, they were watching the Hawkeye show, which we watched,
Oh, yeah.
right? But they were watching like 2 nerd shows, and I'm watching basketball, and they're probably like, this girl is wild. And I was literally in my seat, like, I was yelling, screaming. I'm like, are you kidding me? But like the first, I'd say 5 minutes of the game, like Rutgers was looking strong, and then everyone just forgot how to play basketball for a bit. Like they were just like kicking the ball, and nothing made any sense.
Yeah,
Idiots.
Seton Hall is a team under Kevin Willard, our head coach, that normally doesn't play very well in the first couple minutes of the game. I don't know why, but they always progressively get better during their games. So I wasn't that worried in the first couple minutes, and then by the first half of the first half, we were pretty much in control. Rutgers came back a little bit and made it closer, and thankfully, Seton Hall was in the driver's seat the whole time because I was at my friend Steve's in-laws. They had a dinner for like everyone that was remaining. And I kept telling myself, like, just be calm. You're in public. You don't know these people. Don't embarrass yourself. And after all of that, is that a cat in the corner?
Max has been in here the whole time. I had no idea.
Well, let her out. She doesn't want to be there.
No, she's fine. She's loafed at the door, and the other idiots are playing by the door, and she's just watching their little shadows. Wait, did you tell Steve's whole family that you have?
Well, I told Steve and I told his wife, and they are telling everyone. I don't have any of their contact info. Anyone that I did have contact info for, I told. But then I have a question. So, like, how far back am I supposed to tell people? Like, am I supposed to tell LA Fitness and Ballard? Because I went the day before we left.
Yes. So I reached out to Barry's yesterday, and then they're like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for telling us, blah blah." And then I get the email. It's like, based on your class history, you were in a class with someone who had COVID, and I was like, "That's me."
So I'll do that in the next couple days. I'll just be calling all the places I've been.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it sooner rather than later, and because people are starting to travel, and now I can do it that I got my PCR test back. I can do the contact tracing thing in Apple where people get an alert on their phone if they came anywhere near me in Washington State anyway. Exposure notification.
DC Boney said, wait, who has COVID? Both of us do. You probably can't tell because we actually sound somewhat normal today.
I
and
guess
yes,
we should
both
probably tell, even though we didn't, we should probably tell Alaska Air, which we flew on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But it's like, so Anthony didn't get you did get a PCR test.
Yeah.
But Florida doesn't do contact tracing.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure they don't. So it's like very hard to tell a like you. I just heard a loud bang. I'm sorry. You have to like be able to prove that you tested positive, right? Like, because then people can just call an airline and be like, I tested positive.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
an idiot. Like, you get like a code or something, a contact tracing.
Well, I got an email from the place that I got tested, so I'll check that. Erica said that she found out a couple of weeks ago she went to a wedding where 17 people tested positive and no one ever told her. That's crazy.
Awful.
17 is a lot. Thankfully, at the moment, we are the only 2 people that I know of that have tested positive. So,
well, I was telling my friend Alex, and I was like, dude, it's insane. Like, booster, everything. She's like, it's safe to say that like people with vaccines are still getting COVID. She's like, everyone in my company is vaccinated, and 25 people at the holiday party got COVID.
Yep. And part of that is because people get more
false sense.
Yeah, people get more relaxed. You know, which we were both guilty of that, and part of it is not even guilty. It's just that's what you do. You follow all the protocols, you do all the things, and you hope to get back to normal.
So
damn, there was something I was going to say and I can't remember now.
I'll be honest, the brain fog is
That's
real.
true.
I had a fever. Obviously I'm congested. I am coughing. I have chills. I get hot, but nothing is extreme. It's just all very annoying. Like,
yeah. And that's the probably the benefit of being vaccinated is we're less likely to transmit it. We are less likely to have, severe not side effects, what's it called, symptoms. And we'll hopefully get through it pretty quick.
I've already had family members that are like, oh, how's that booster working for you? I go, well, I'm not dead, so.
Yeah. No,
and I didn't hopefully spread it to everyone at the wedding because of the booster.
Yeah, and is it a little frustrating to do all the right things and still get it? Absolutely. But we're still in a better place, in a better position because of the vaccine than had we not gotten it.
Exactly. Wait, there was someone that just said something about...
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Doja Cat got COVID for the second time, and she had to get out of the Jingle Ball tour.
So did one of the HIR brothers and Lil Nas X.
Well, I guess if they're all backstage and they're all touring together, they're probably hanging out with one another. And
everyone's getting tested day up from what I heard.
But there's definitely a rise in cases around the country. And both the NFL and NBA said they expect to deal with this until mid-January. Because NFL has, I want to say 35 people right now who are positive for COVID. Jeez. And the NBA has a bunch as well. The NBA just postponed a couple games, actually.
What was I just reading it? My friend Hannah said, are y'all Pfizer fam or Moderna? So Anthony and I both got Pfizer.
Yeah.
First time, and then I got a Moderna booster. So.
And Erica said that to work, excuse me, I just choked. To work at Jingle Ball, they all have to be vaccinated and tested, but the artists, I think, only have to be tested.
Again, because we let rich people do whatever they want.
I mean, that is true. Also, I wonder if they just didn't think they could fill a full Jingle Ball roster with requiring vaccines. Who knows?
Coconut Love. Do we think we got it from the wedding? No. I
actually don't.
Because I had a sore throat before the wedding, day of, and thought it was just from screaming at the bar the night before. So apparently it takes possibly 2 days now. Remember we heard 10 days from come in contact. Now it's 2 days, which means that would be Thursday, which was when I was flying. So, yeah.
Created by Cooper said she couldn't get an appointment for their booster. Where did you go for your booster?
Through Amazon.
Because I believe Created by Cooper is in Seattle or in the Seattle area.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's a lot in the chat that I'm trying to catch up with.
Oh, wow. Preacher's wife. My mom is vaccinated, got COVID, but the symptoms only lasted a week. My dad didn't get vaccinated and is 3 weeks sick now. I will lose my mind.
Oh, and Fred the Mailman brings up a good thing. We got to talk about your porch pirate, Carla Marie. He wished diarrhea on your porch pirate.
Yeah, well, he accidentally may have wished it on me because that's my latest symptom.
Well, that
New.
stinks.
It could be from the medicine.
I don't have that at all, so.
I don't have a stomach ache. Like, you'll just move and be like, oh no. So get ready. It happens. I wanted to send you this video. It's on my Instagram story. This bitch came up to, you see her running, grabs a package from my neighbors, comes to me, grabs a package from me, and runs out of here. And she is a skank ass hoe. And I know that because she stole my package. And it was my e.l.f. Cosmetics that I got for Black Friday. I was so excited to get new makeup, and this bitch stole it. So I put her ass on TikTok because everyone's like, go on TikTok because people on TikTok will find this person. But like, what am I going to do when we find her?
I don't know.
My mom's like, go find her and breathe on her.
I guess if you find her, you can report it to the cops.
Well, I went to go do a police report, so I don't know how to answer this question. I have to call it today. And it was like online. It said, do you know who the suspect is? If yes, call.
Okay.
So, like, do I know who it is?
Well, you can just call them and say you have a picture, because with a lot of criminals, I guess, the cops will oftentimes know who they are because they've, done things before. They can look up, they probably have a database, people who steal packages, and they can look up a picture. I know my friend Richie, who's an NYPD cop, oftentimes when there's a crime that they recognize, they'll know kind of who it is, and they'll be able to go track the person down.
All right. Well, then they're going to be like, okay, we'll come out today to ask some questions. I'm like, no, you will not.
Well, you could do it from the window.
No, what?
Just roll your window open and talk that way.
No. Yeah. What idiot with purple hair does this? Like, you're going to get caught. And my favorite thing people had me losing it. I posted, does anyone know who this is? And all the responses, someone's like, no, but this girl needed Dina with the pink hair like 3 months ago. And all like these random things like ripping into her, which normally I don't, I'm not a fan of. But if you're going to be an asshole.
Yeah, if you're a thief, you get to be made fun of.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's funny. Anthony's talking about my house window, and it does open like that. My house window, they said, who still rolls their windows down like that?
Yeah, not a car window.
My house window opens like that.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
What else do we have in here? We are going to end up kind of cutting this stream early, mainly because I got to pack up and go to my uncle's house where I can quarantine for the next couple days. And also because the one thing that I think both of us have felt through with COVID is you don't have energy for that long. Like, I don't feel terrible, but every time I do something, I've got to lay down.
Yeah, I'm actually freezing in here, and the heat is on. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Hold on. Keep talking, Carla Marie. I got to see if our visitor is here.
Oh, no. The alligator. Not really, but I will get like a wave of energy.
Let's see if I can. Oh, this isn't going to work. Can you see his little head?
Not really.
Oh, he's gone now.
There was a giant reptile that was clawing at the glass of our hotel room. So, it's bizarre. But, yeah, the fact that I actually woke up today and was like, I'm awake, and then I showered was crazy. But what keeps happening is I'll get energy, and I'm like, okay, do something. Make soup. Clean out the dishwasher. Like, whatever it is, because I'm trying not to make this house become an absolute trash nest that it already is from the 2 days that I've been sick. So the second I get, like, energy, I try to do something, and then I'm like, I got to go lay down.
Were you able to see the dragon out there?
I couldn't.
Oh, well, I heard him scratching against the glass. That's why I was able to pop up and know that he was there. So there's a gigantic iguana that just lives on this windowsill. And every now and then he wants to, let me know that he's there. And he just climbs up on the glass and does this. He's my only friend here right now.
You should do a video of you talking to him. Hey, Game Day Creative 67 just said a thing to you in the chat, Anthony. Glad I dance battled you at the wedding, which ended up with us making out. Negative rapid PCR test at 1.
Well, you know what?
Oh, negative rapid PCR test.
Sometimes that happens. Yeah, I don't think anyone's, as of right now, no one's tested positive, which makes me feel a lot better. Because there is this like weird sense of guilt. You're like, oh, am I the person? But it doesn't seem like this was any sort of like super spreader event or anything.
But I feel like everyone needs to get tested again in like 3 days.
I mean, maybe. Let's see.
Wait, what? Vicky just said, I think I accidentally threw away my You Look Great beanie because I can't find it anywhere, and I'm devastated. I legit cried about it because I was so excited to wear it. What?
That stinks.
I also can't find mine. Do you have cats? Because I think mine's stolen. Well, I have one on my head. I know that, but I mean.
Let's see. Mama Sarah said it could take 5 to 7 days from exposure to test positive. Yeah, I can taste and smell at the moment.
Yeah, I can taste and smell. It's definitely muted because I'm clearly congested.
Yeah.
Like I can breathe fine. It's crazy. It's all like, I'm fine. It's just all in here.
I think that's it for today's show, Carla Marie. What do you think?
I can do that.
All right, because I still have to pack up and get out of here. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us. We will let you know on social, obviously on Instagram and our stories, if we're going to be on Thursday and if we're going to add an extra show because we weren't able to do yesterday's show. So obviously we don't know how we're going to feel or anything, so we're playing it by ear. So we appreciate the patience.
Yes, thank you guys for being here. I see a lot of you talking about your order. I'd say today you probably should get a shipping notification if you haven't yet. If not, tomorrow. And if you don't get it by today or tomorrow, then you can reach out to us.
I was actually talking to Martha, who hadn't received any shipping notifications yesterday, so I checked for her. And if you ordered a blue beanie, that was like the last thing to go out. So that should be out today, and you should have a notification today or tomorrow. So that was one of the things that the blue beanie specifically took longer to get in and longer to print and all that.
Yeah, the Erica is the name of the beanie.
Exactly. The Erica ruined everyone's day. That was a difficult one.
It depended if you had a palm or no palm, because there really weren't any. That's the one we had the issue with. There were, They had them only, I forget what it was at this point, but palm or no palm were available, and then there were only like 5. It was a cluster. Also,
you can blame Erica.
I think that I dislocated my rib. I forgot to tell you this. Coughing the other day.
Oh.
And it sucks that I can't go to the chiropractor, but every once in a while it'll stab me in the boob, and I'm scared that it's going to pop my implant. I
don't think it'll do that. Just take care of yourself. I don't know what else to tell you.
Also, quick anecdote before we leave. So Anthony and I could see each other before the show starts, and I see the chat, and I see Erica Shea from the Almost On Air podcast is in here. And I go, Erica's in here. And he goes, well, did you shut the door? What do you mean? And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, Erica's the person, not the cat.
I mean, it would make way more sense if Erica the cat was in there.
It would.
So there's that. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for the patience. And we will hopefully see you on Thursday at the very latest. Yeah, peace out.
We love you guys.